The price of deception. As darkness slowly descended upon the jungle, the long branches of the trees swayed gently in the cold night breeze, while the distant hoot of an owl made the silent forest feel even more mysterious. In that very jungle lived a wolf. He was neither the strongest nor the fastest, but there was one thing he did better than anyone else: deception. He knew that not every prey could be caught by force, but almost every heart could be won with sweet words. And so he built a reputation throughout the jungle. He greeted every animal with a warm smile. He visited the sick and asked about their health. He gently patted the young on their heads. He showed respect to the old. But the moment an opportunity appeared, he would use their weakness for his own gain. Most of the animals believed he was their well-wisher. Only one creature never trusted him, an old owl who watched him silently from the highest branches. One evening, a rabbit asked the owl, "Why do you never trust the wolf?" The owl looked into the distance before quietly replying, "Anyone who tries too hard to please everyone usually has a hidden purpose." The rabbit laughed, "Perhaps you're just too suspicious." The owl calmly answered, "Time always reveals the truth." A few days later, a terrible food shortage struck the jungle. The animals grew desperate. That was when the wolf came forward with a proposal. Gathering everyone together, he announced, "I've discovered a valley beyond the mountains where there is fresh water, green grass, and plenty of fruit. If you trust me, I'll lead you there." Hope filled the hearts of the animals. Only the owl remained silent. He spoke softly, "Choose your guide wisely, because not every leader is loyal." But the promise of a better life clouded everyone's judgment. The next morning, the wolf led the animals on their journey. The path was long. They crossed mountains, walked through thorny bushes, and struggled over rocky ground. Yet they continued to follow him without question. After many exhausting hours, they entered a narrow canyon. Suddenly, the wolf stopped. For the first time, a strange smile appeared on his face. In the very next moment, men emerged from behind the bushes. They were hunters. The truth was finally revealed. For days, the wolf had secretly been working with them. In exchange for delivering the animals into their trap, he had been promised food and protection. Panic exploded across the canyon. The deer cried out in terror. The rabbits hid behind rocks. Birds desperately took to the sky. But the canyon was too narrow. There was nowhere to escape. The wolf stood at a distance, watching the chaos with satisfaction. He whispered to himself, "From today onward, my life will be easy." But fate had written a different ending. The leader of the hunters looked toward the wolf, then turned to one of his men and said, "A creature who betrays his own kind will never be loyal to us either." The wolf froze. "But I promised you wouldn't harm me." The hunter burst into laughter. Who would ever trust a traitor? With a simple wave of his hand, the hunters threw a net over the wolf as well. Now the same wolf who had laughed at the helplessness of others was begging for mercy himself. Just then, the old owl slowly descended from the sky. He looked at the trapped wolf. Through tears, the wolf pleaded, "Please, save me. I've made a mistake." The owl took a deep breath and replied, "A mistake is something done without intention. You knowingly sold the trust of others for your own gain." The hunters carried the wolf away. no one ever learned what happened to him. But from that day forward, a lesson echoed through the jungle for generations. The rabbit would tell his children, if someone tries to lead you with sweet words, look at their character first, not their tongue. And every evening the old owl repeated the same timeless words. Success built on deception is like a palace built on sand. The very first storm will wash it away. Moral: deception may bring temporary rewards, but it always steals something far more valuable: respect, trust, and peace of mind. Remember, whoever digs a pit for others is often the first to fall into it. And never forget, trust makes no sound when it breaks, but its echo can be heard for a lifetime.